What's this?
You there! Help me, please! Some thoughtless fool buried me in this grave to be left as fodder for the worms. I can't be at peace in a place like this. I have to be put to rest according to lizard tradition. The eternal fire burns in the lizard quarter of the cemetery. I beg you, cast my remains into the fire. Set my spirit free. I will never know peace otherwise.
These must be the remains of that lizard spirit, just as he said.
What's this? I found something.
As you reach to push open the heavy door, the coils and whirls of engraved wood dance into a new pattern. The semblance of a face arises, a face that seems to look right through you.
A little sorcerer, come to play. You are a sorcerer, are you not? Perhaps even God-woken? Tell me true, now.
Silence greets your answer. In the distance, you hear the screech of an eagle. Worryingly closer, you hear some kind of a moan. Time passes. At last, the lips on the door creak open, and the door speaks.
Enter.
The face melts back into the wood of the door, and the whirls swirl back into a floral pattern. A loud metallic click can be heard from deep within.
A fine abode. A pity the location's so inadequate.
The masked creature grunts 3 times at the sight of you. It reaches its arm out. Clasped in its hand is a crumpled parchment. You take the page, and the servant returns to its hollow existence.
Kin, you speak to Xiuh, hatched from the egg of Zora. It pleases Xiuh to speak to lizards once more. But why does a dragonkin leave the ancient empire? Why does a dragonkin come to such a dark place?
You stare in shock. It's speaking perfect old tongue. You'd have no idea what it was saying if you weren't well versed in the Empire's ancient texts.
A celestial champion. Xiuh expects nothing less from a kin. Our old master would be proud. Has the Empire fallen so far? The old master would never have allowed such folly. Xiuh's old master taught Xiuh. Consul Zara, esteemed lizard consul, was the most prestigious master, until the elf killed Consul Zara.
The lizard lets out a low, rumbling hiss.
Killed Zara for gold. Then he stole Zara's chest and stole Xiuh away. A prisoner, yes, but my master's secrets are safe. The vile elf cannot speak our elegant tongue, and he could not break open her chest. It tried for many weeks, but its enchantments are strong. In the elf's rage, it was thrown into the flames of our lizard graves. Even there, it could not be destroyed. It brought joy to hear the elf's fury.
The lizard's eyes, cold, search your face for a moment.
Xiuh has hoped to keep his master's secrets until the end of time. But it is right that a kin of your majesty should know. If you can douse the fire, good prince, sing these words. The chest will open for you like a cracked egg. Honor the memory of Xiuh's master. She deserves nothing less.
Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
If Anne claps you on the...
It's hard not to feel some pride in reptilian engineering. I watched an elf spend hours trying to force his way into a lizard's chest. Eventually, he threw it into the flames. But still it sits there, indestructible. He did not leave empty-handed, unfortunately. I pity the poor salamander that he dragged back to his ghastly home.
The cremation pyre. From fire to ash, from ember to flame.
The spirit shimmers faintly, reaching for you with vaporous arms, its voice as weak as the breeze.
Red Prince, art thou truly he? Of prophecy foretold, augured in ancient melody. Rav Mudam, Anan Eket, Vetu Duran. Aye, the dreamer passeth by, chased by shadow. With the dreamer thou must speak of what thou art and what thou shalt be. To the dreamer I will take thee, for I too dream. In death I dream, Red Prince. Let me guide thee.
The spirit comes closer and bids you look into its weary, wearying eyes. A sudden fatigue overwhelms you, and you fall asleep. Once more you're in the great dark, but you deftly follow your guide in utter silence. The unseen tendrils lash, but do not find you. Soon you spy it, the solitary red eye, the haven in the horror. That is where you are headed. You arrive at the desert camp, dormant beneath an eternal sunset. Brahmos the Wanderer awaits.
Your Highness, you have found me. As you wish, sire. As you know, the House of Shadows stirs. Assassins had me cornered, and so I took the last desperate action left open to me. I fled bodily into the dream realm. This is my world now. To Rivellon I can never return. Not that it matters. It is but a small sacrifice to make in return for the fulfilling of the prophecy that is the Red Prince. It is time we talk about the prophecy, sire. First, let me ask you a question, Your Majesty. A query that involves the very fundamentals of who we are. Who are we? A falsehood. We are descendants of a race older than the gods. Here is the truth, Red Prince. We were dragons once,
All of us. All lizards are descendants of dragons. Great red dragons. You anticipate me most accurately, Your Highness. The prophecy, the secret that the House of Dreams has safeguarded for countless millennia, says that when the Red Prince and the Red Princess unite, their children will be dragons, and through their union all lizards will be dragons again. Throughout history, the House of Shadows has spilled the blood of thousands of dreamers to prevent your birth and your union. But we are on the cusp of denying them their long-sought victory. You must go to her, Red Prince. She is waiting for you. She's close to you, along Reaper's coast. There's a camp to the north. It's where I was headed before the House of Shadows caught up with me. She knows the House of Dreams is the ally of dragons. She's aware we've been trying to unite you against all the odds. So go to her, for she awaits you with ravenous patience. No one knows the motives of our enemy. Why they seek to keep us shackled to the ground when we could soar and scorch. They look like lizards, but they think like demons. Though I've been battling them tooth and nail all my life, I cannot say who their leader is, if there even is such a creature, and of what race it is. But in the end, that is of no consequence. Unite with the Red Princess, and your children will breathe the fires of a second sun that will banish all shadow forever. You ask me, sire, about a time when the Seven still strode this world, when the finger of a god would trace lazily along the land and leave in its wake a river. Who can tell what happened when the stars above this paradise darkened in the void and froze even the fire of dragons? All I know is that ever since the first lizards awoke, cold upon rock and sand, some of them dreamt, and in dreams remembered what they were, and could be again. Her name is Sadha, Princess of the House of Law. Just like you, she was raised within walls, protected against the world. But unlike you, born within the boastful House of War, her existence was kept a secret. It was I who pushed for secrecy. For as I held you both in my arms mere days after your birth, I knew the moment had come. As I knew the shadows would close in. You've known each other all your lives through dreams. I watched. You've longed for one another in loneliness. I saw. Two flames you were, with a long black shadow cast in between. But soon, no more in between at all. As you wish, my prince.
A nonchalant snap of the fingers, and just like that, you're back in the land of the living.
Majesty, thou returnest from the nighttime realm, laden with the promise of prophecy. I, lost soul, know my duty is at an end. Fare thee well, All-Father. Blessed be Rav Mudom, Charal Evdekius Recht, Vetu Daran.
You have done me a great service, friend. Now, the Hall of Echoes beckons.
The chest before you is covered in old ancient empire pictograms. You consider trying to find some lockpicks in your bag, but looking at the chest, you don't see any keyhole. You hear a deep rumbling from inside the chest, and a voice emerges. It hisses and clicks at you in the old tongue, your people's ancient language.
This chest recognizes Consort Zara as master. Speak her words or return me to the flames.
With a quiet click, the lid of the chest swings open.